I don't know if I'm gonna post this. I should post it, but I don't know if I am. So check this out. I just got off work this morning. I got some food in my teeth. So I just got off work this morning and I came home, took a shower, put my phone on sound because I'm waiting for a phone call for a job. I normally keep my phone on silent because once I'm asleep during the day and stuff, I don't want no teens and beans, Facebook, Instagram, whomever. I got my whole phone like silent. But today I had it on sound because I'm expecting a phone call from a recent job I put in for. So my phone rings. So I'm thinking it's the lady that I've been corresponding with via email. But it's a guy. He was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" He was like, "I'm fine. I just called to see if you could talk right now." And I was like, "Well, who are you?" Because nine times out of, no, not even nine times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, before I give my number out, especially on a dating app, I always say text my phone. Leave your name, text my phone. I never say call my phone. I say text, leave your name. That's how I move. That's how I operate. You can move and operate the way you want to, but that's how I move and operate. Text my phone, leave your number. But he didn't do that. He went on to call me, and I didn't have other individuals just to go ahead and call instead of listening to directions. And the first thing men want to say is women don't listen, but I digress. So, we're having a conversation. And in his profile, he sound like a fucking unicorn. He sound like, them books back in the day that the had white man with the ripped shirt and, just all kinds of beautiful words on the inside of the book. Especially if your mother used to read books and stuff. You know what I'm talking about, them old books. The man be on a horse and gold locks and shit. So his profile info was like, yes, I'm charismatic. I want someone who loves me and loves to cuddle and, wants to be in the kitchen with me and cook. And it's a must have that you come and see me. It's a must have you do this and do that. And he's spitting real good game, something that a female will want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I want to cook with you. I want to cuddle with you. I want to do this with you, this, that, and the third. I like this bio, so I slid on my number. I slid him my number yesterday, but he didn't reach out to me yesterday. He reached out to me today. So today we're on the phone. He's basically reiterating what he has on his bio. And I was like, well, that's what grabbed my attention. I was like, I like what you had to say. So he's going on his 21 questions on me, asking me what I like and what I don't like, and do I have a problem with what he's requesting, and this, that, and the third. I was like, well, I don't have a problem with what you're requesting, because I said I don't mind being underneath my man. I don't mind cooking and cleaning for my man. I don't mind doing these different things. But I was like, the way my schedule is set up, I wouldn't be able to do like everything. Like he was like, I like people who come over to spend the night. You got to spend the night and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't know about all that, because I was like, because of the way my schedule is. So I'm telling him what I do for work, and I'm telling him how, I've never been the type to call myself the police, especially when I first started doing security, because I started off as a security guard and then I progressed into a special police officer. So when people would ask me what I was doing from that day to this day, I'd be like, I'm a special police officer, but all I do is like check IDs and sign people in, and then boom. And I was expressing to him, this is the closest I've ever been to being a police officer. I was like, I do the same thing MPD does. I go to the same academy. I go to the same, I carry the same weapon. I do the same work. I go to the same precinct. I was like, when I go to work, I don't go to work miserable. Like I want to lock somebody up. I want to do my 8 and skate. But I'm the type of person, I give you a choice. Do you want to go home? Do you want to go to jail? How you want to carry it? Because I know how I want to carry it. I want you to pour the liquor out. I want you to throw the weed out, because that shit is not acceptable on this property. It might be legal, but not on this property. I want to do my 8 and skate. I don't feel like doing no paperwork. I don't feel like going down to the precinct. I don't feel like doing a report and then I got to sit around waiting for my supervisor to, approve my report, and they got 20 or 12 other reports to approve before mine. I'm not feeling that. I want to do my 8 and skate. I want to do what I do and roll out. So, I'm being brutally honest, even though I saw on social media you don't want to do too much, but I ain't got time for all that. Like, I've been with a narcissist before, so you're not going to be toxic to me. You're not going to run game on me. It's like being growing up around a crackhead or an alcoholic. You already know the signs and symptoms. Even if they're a functional crackhead or a functional alcoholic, you already know how they move. So it's like they can't get over on you or whatever. So I'm talking, and then all of a sudden I don't hear anything, and I'm like, hello, hello, and he's still on the phone. Hello, hello, and then I just eventually hung up, but he never called me back. So my feelings are not hurt because I know I'm gorgeous. I know I'm pretty. I don't need nobody to validate that. I just wanted to make this message, and I might post it. Women, be careful when you're on these apps, because not all these men are sincere. I've done seen a few times on my timeline that a few women have gotten, unalived. A few women have gotten sexually assaulted. A few women have gotten beaten up by these men. By the grace of God, that has not happened to me. The most that's happened to me is just now I crapped out, you know, maybe how I be talking or how I'm so direct or might come off militant or whatever. They don't want to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? They probably like, okay. Or it could just be like they got some bullshit going on with them, like they got other plans, but they hear the way that I talk, and it's like, oh, I can't get over on her. So just be very mindful and very aware when you're on these dating apps, because a lot of people are not on these dating apps have good intentions. I don't care what they bio say. I don't care what they pictures, whatever. I don't care how nice they are. A lot of them up to some scheming and up to some, some low down dirty shit. And he sounds very smooth and collect. And not only that, when I went back onto Hinge, oh damn. Well, fuck it. This jig is up. When I went back onto Hinge, his profile was gone. Completely gone. Completely gone. And if you're familiar with any, like pretty much any of the dating apps, maybe they can delete it from their side, but it won't be deleted from your side. I don't know. But his profile was there all this time, and we've been corresponding through the app off and on. I want to say for maybe about a week, playing tag, like freeze tag, you're it, like playing tag because of my schedule. I'm trying to tell you, homeboy shit is gone. So I don't know if he up to some brand of bullshit, because I about me telling him, like, I was like, oh yeah, this is the closest I've ever been to being a police. I said I do the same thing the police officers do. I said I go down to the same precinct. I use the same paperwork. I use the same system in it as them. And I don't know if it spooked them off. But my man just allowed, you know how you talking, you got to keep saying, you know how you be talking, that person's so quiet, and you be like, you still there? And they be like, yeah, I'm just listening. I ain't hear shit. I ain't hear shit outside. I keep getting self-conscious right here, but it's all good. Because look. But anyway, I'm getting off subject. But be careful. Be careful, because my man was like, well, how you feel about if I was to ask you, we start dating, you come and I ask you to come and stay with me? I said, I'm not living with no man that's not my husband. And everything I was talking about, I kept throwing it on God. I don't care if I had just got finished sucking somebody dick or fucking somebody, because sometimes the devil would try to trick you, and your mind would try to trick you and trick you, and whatever I just said. You can always go to the throne of God. That's why God hang with the whores and the tax people. He was hoping that his grace would rub off on them. And everything I do was talking about. I was like, oh, I look for a man to have leadership. I look for a man to go before God, and God is God. And that's another thing. I was like, God. And then I started talking about, I know how to shoot. I ain't say it like that, but if I'm carrying a weapon, I know how to shoot. And you don't need all them bullets. What I've been taught from every instructor I ever had over the course of the years, all you need is one motherfucking bullet. But yeah, Slim, He ain't even called back. My man got on the dating app and deleted the fuck out his deleted the fuck out his profile. It's not funny, but it is funny. I think I might go ahead and post this. You just gotta be careful. I just want y'all women and the men to be careful too, because I saw on social media not too long ago that the dude was I think he was at the casino or something, made the ancestors be with him, and the girls was talking about getting freaky naughty with him, and it was a botched robbery, and guess who ended up dying? Him. So you got to be very mindful when you're on these dating apps. Meet people in public space. Make sure you share your location. Make sure you let people know where you're going. Seriously, like all jokes aside, seriously, whenever I go somewhere, I make sure I'm Gucci. And make sure you're Gucci. Make sure you're Gucci. Carry some pepper spray, carry some mace, carry a pocket knife. I don't give a fuck. As the old saying go, I'd rather be judged by, I think it's like 12 than carried by 6. Judge, it was either him or me. And I chose me. Fuck the district attorney people. Well, you this bitch. If I pull out a knife right now and try to stick you, going to defend yourself if you got a gun, or you're going to just be like, oh, it's against the law, I'm not supposed to do it. No, by any means necessary, protect yourself. I don't give a fuck what the law say. If you're in a position where deadly force is about to be implemented towards you, make sure you protect yourself. You protect yourself. And this might have been a blessing from God. It could very much been a blessing for God from God in disguise. Because I sure enough was like, oh, God, my God, my God. Well, will you come and live with me? If God tell me to. I said, I look for him for refuge. I said, I know when I'm with the right man, when God talks to me. That's all I kept saying. God. Well, will you come and live with me? No. He was like, do you got your own space? I was like, no, I rent a room. And he was like, oh, so if I say, well, come and live with me and this, that, and the third, no. I said, I'm not living with another man. I'm not playing house. I said, the next man I live with is going to be my husband. Well, I wasn't saying it like, no. You asked the question and I gave you an answer. No. And that's the problem. And then what be getting me sometimes, men be like, well, what you bring to the table? Hasn't nothing really changed. The only thing that changed are the players. The game don't ever change. Let's be honest. As long as you willing to fucking suck your man, especially a good man, you really ain't got to do too much. As long as you know how to read and write a little bit, count, you know what I'm saying? If you don't, he could probably help you along the way with some shit. But as long as you're willing to like really listen, obey, and get some, and be like, ready to bend over and let's just be honest. It's only the broke man that be want to go half and all this extra dumb shit. Yeah, the economy is fucked up, but if you live within your means, you can pretty much whatever to a degree. You know, I'm gonna say, yeah, do like the Spanish people, get a big ass house and everybody go in. But see, so many people wanna live above their means and care about what other people think of them. Get a house. Everybody rent a room. Everybody rent a basement. And you Gucci, but I digress. Whatever. Be careful when you on these dating sites. Please be careful. Be careful. I don't know if he was up to some bullshit. I don't know. Maybe I turned him off because he sure enough said, oh, well, I wasn't talking about, because when he said, would you come to my house? And no, that's what he said. He was like, what if we kick it in and I asked you to come in? I want to say he said live with me and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I'm not playing no motherfucking house. If you want me, you going to change my motherfucking last name. Change my last name. You know what I'm saying? You got to I want to put a man in a position where he going to be like, man, it's cheaper to keep her. I'm going to just throw him here and stay right here. Yep. Don't play with me. Oh, dear. Yeah, I was like, yeah, God, my God. The heck? God speak to me. If God want me to lay up with you, he'll speak to me. Just like he spoke to that lady who he told to lay by his feet. I think it's the book of Ruth. I don't know if it was God or the lady that told her to go and lay by his feet. God will tell me to lay by your feet. God, my God.